The vast majority of empty seats traveling around the country, traveling around the cities, is in cars. And back then, so back in 2006, 2007, we thought that there would be a potential to unlock this massive inventory. Number one, through technology, because it was the beginning of the smartphones, which obviously today are very widespread and everybody has one. But back in 2006, pre-iPhone, it was not obvious. The second thing that fundamentally unlocked this huge market was more behavioral. If we can create that trust layer between users, we would over time unlock essentially that behavior of sharing, enabling drivers and passengers to share their car. BlaBlaCar is a community of almost 100 million members across 22 countries. The beginning of BlaBlaCar was in truth very slow. So we had like a very hard time to convince early users, and even a harder time, I would say, to convince investors. We went through 3 different phases. We went through that first phase of demonstrating, unlocking the product and having the first users, which was very much about shaping the behavior. It's about creating the product. We had a second phase from 2012 to 2016 or 17, where we had cracked that usage in France, and we could see actually users loving the product, using the product more and more. And we realized back in 2011, 2012 that no one was doing that at any scale in any other country. So that's when we decided to go fundraise, and we raised back then $10 million from Accel Partners, and then in 2014, 100 million, and then another 200 million after that, to go global. Then we engaged into a third phase, which I would say started around 2017, where we realized that BlaBlaCar had become fairly mainstream, or at least pretty widespread in several countries, and that we became really good at gathering lots of travel intent from people, and that we could offer more than carpooling, which was the initial promise. The car remains and will remain for a long time the universal connector. So the car is the only means of transport, at least on mid-long distance, that can really go from any point to any point. Trains, buses, planes are constrained by bus station, train station, or airports. That's the only points you can connect on the map. Car can connect anything, anywhere to anywhere. So if you think of an integrated network where you can combine trains, buses, and carpooling, you can suddenly open up actually a much larger potential of connections within a region or a country. And that's what we're slowly building. How do we make transport more efficient economically? Because it makes no sense to leave empty seats in cars or buses or trains, but also from an environmental standpoint. Obviously, having cars driving 70% empty makes no sense whatsoever. During that crisis, it sounds a bit counterintuitive, but we actually launched 2 new products. So we launched BlaBlaRide, and BlaBlaRide is e-scooters inside the city. So it's our way to get into micro-mobility. And we believe that's going to matter because during the rebound of transport, we believe that several people will probably not want to take commuter train and metros and so on. And we believe like bikes, e-bikes, e-scooters are probably going to thrive inside the cities during that rebound. And we wanted not only to play on that shared mobility, but also longer term to start connecting the different offers on BlaBlaCar. So we have BlaBlaCar and BlaBlaBus on long distance. We have BlaBlaLines, which is about carpooling for commuters on a daily basis. So it's home to work type journeys. And BlaBlaRide, which is really inside the city and on very short distances. Another project we launched during the crisis in the middle of April, during the lockdown, is a product called BlaBlaHelp, a product to help people do their groceries during that crisis. And it was one of the big problems actually during the crisis was for older people, people with conditions. It was pretty risky and pretty scary for them to do their groceries. So we leveraged the community, connecting people on a local basis, and enabling them to match in a way and help each other do their groceries, leveraging the trust we've built, so that essentially the person you contact and you trust to do your grocery, take your money and bring back some goods, is a BlaBlaCar member, and you have all the information about that member to be able to trust that member to help you undo the groceries.